Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the 1 Point Safety Show with myself, Scott Hartley, and my amazing co-host, Scouse Andy. How are you, buddy? You alright, mate?
Not too bad, Paul. Not too bad. How about yourself?
Yeah, alright. It's been hammering it down all week up here, so I'll be happy when the weather gets a bit better, but it's a week closer to Christmas, mate, so I can't complain. As always, mate, we'll start with our sponsors, which is Dunstable Town FC's Talk of the Town podcast, where they're sponsor for the season. Go over and check them out. You can find them on YouTube under Talk of the Town podcast. Also sponsored by Oddballs, so it's myoddballs.com. Go across and have a look at their gear on there, pants, socks, scarves, hats, you name it, they've got it on there. And 50% of profits go to men's cancer charities. So go and give them a check out. Also graciously sponsored by Fusion Therapeutics, which is northwich-physio.co.uk. They provide expert MSK assessments and treatment with a focus on holistic care dedicated to improving your well-being through tailored musculoskeletal health plans. Team offer specialist injection therapy, non-medical independent prescribing. So if you're in the Northwest, Manchester or the Cheshire area, give the team a call on 01606 512-013, or you can book online and they'll be happy to advise you further on this affordable treatment solution. Also, if you're into the writing side, go across to bleedingburgundy.com, go over and you can check them out over there as well. We'll get into it then, mate. I mean, good game, I thought, at the weekend. Unfortunately, it was a loss. Heartbreaker, 27-26 to the Broncos. Drops our record now down to 3-9. Neither me and you, who was sat on this podcast last week, said we expected much out of this last week, but it was better than it ended up better than I thought it was. I mean, what were your thoughts initially on the game after seeing the game, mate? What did you think?
I thought the biggest thing was that we were competitive, and that's all. As a fan, that's all you can ask. You know, there's been too many blowouts. There's been too many games where we've been, just not in the game at all, and it's not. You want to see true competition, and the whole point of the NFL is to be like these type of games, where it is nip and tuck, and it can go either way, and last play of the game type things, excitement. That's the whole point. That was the whole point of the NFL making it the way it is. When you're a bad team, you get the first draft pick. They try and make it more equality. You know what I mean? More equal if they can, and that's what I found. That was really, really good. I thought it was a good game. I thought, of course there were mistakes, but I think this was probably the first game this season that I've actually really enjoyed. As in performances, offense, defense.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all. I mean, the points I've got down here, I mean, standouts-wise, I mean, I'm sure we'll get into it. I thought Mariota played as well as he could as a backup QB. Do you know what I mean? When you're looking at him and what you're after from a backup QB, he delivered. He gave everything that he possibly could. Did he make a bonehead mistake? Yes. But, you're gonna get times like that, especially and that's why you end up as a backup. I thought defensively we kind of built on the Miami game. It's clear to see that, in a zone-heavy defense, which is what Dan Quinn's clearly running, it is a lot better. One thing I did come out of it thinking was you probably gave it too much time and too much loyalty to Joe Witt over this season, because you can clearly see straight away that playing in these positions and playing a zone-heavy defense that he is playing is putting the talent that we have on the field in better positions. I mean, what did you think overall about the defense then, if we get into that one?
Yeah, defense. We pressured Bo Nix. I mean, Bo Nix doesn't take sacks. It was one thing that about him. He doesn't take sacks. He's very elusive, but then also he knows how to throw the ball away as well. So, he's very clever with the ball, you know what I mean? Like kind of like managing it that way. And we got to him. We got to him quite a few times in that game. We actually got some pressure, which is a bit of a shock really, because we have not pressured any quarterbacks over the past 10 weeks. Let's be honest. So it was refreshing to see a little bit of that, and it was refreshing to see players actually, making some good plays. Do you know what I mean? Like that's all you ask for. That's all you ask for. Of course, could there be better at certain points? Sure, but. They didn't really get smoked. There wasn't that real big ridiculous deep ball that we always get dicked with, with a touchdown, 60-yarders and all this. There's none of that. Now, again, you shouldn't get that with Lotto's own deep. But what I totally agree with what you're saying there with Joe Witt. The players, even though he's got half a squad, because they don't after we're injured, the same players, he's getting a lot more out of them. So that tells me that it's Joe Witt's play calling. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing for me. The biggest thing, the players are there for the players who want to put it on the line for him. That's why I think DEQ should stay.
Yeah, agreed. And you can see they're playing for him. That's the thing. That hasn't been lost. That hasn't been lost.
They weren't playing for Witt. You can tell he weren't. He was probably a bit too much at this, thinking he was Billy Big Time, and realised that he's actually a load of shite, and the defence was down tools on him. That's probably what happened, deep down to Witt. And then obviously they still respect DQ, so they start to play again a little bit more. I mean, I wasn't expecting much. I mean, I knew that. Let's face it, the Denver offense it's okay. It's not amazing.
Suspect. I think it's suspect.
Yeah. I say it's okay. They got a decent quarterback. They got a couple of decent weapons, but are you scared of those dudes? Not really. No, you're not really scared of them. It's not like, oh my god, there's a JJ on that team, or there's somebody can really scare them. There's a scare defenses. Franklin's quite decent, but we held him very, very well.
Cortland Sutton, I'm not bothered about.
Sutton's okay, but again, he's not Terry's league. He's not that type. He's not that good. He's not as good as Terry. And then you look at the other guys, and it's like, well, there's a couple of guys. Mims we know about. He burns a couple of times on punt returns last season or the year before, but this year again didn't do too much. Okay, we still can see the 27 points, but it was kind of a. They have some weapons, but I wasn't scared of that offense. Their defense, what I was more worried about, that we wouldn't get any points. That was my worry. But we actually did quite well. I thought we did quite well. I thought we ran the ball well. I thought Cliff was actually calling a good game for a change. I really did. He was getting the ball out ultra fast, stopping their pass rush instantly. Like, I think for the first half, we were under 2 seconds at delivery. I mean, when a quarterback throws the ball under 2 seconds, you can get near him.
No, that's true.
So Denver started to playing back a bit more because they couldn't get to us. He couldn't get to Mariota because the way it was quick screen, quick pass, and then eventually they started dropping off a little bit deeper, and then that gave him a little bit more time so he can start throwing intermediate ball. You see what I mean? So it worked really well. I thought offensively it worked really well. Chris Rodriguez started off really well, and then they got used to him. Like you said, they started to zone in on him a little bit, and then he changed it to McNichols. It was actually, and he did okay. So it was actually a much better performance. With Terry in the team, I don't care what anyone says. With Terry in the team, our offense looks way, way different.
100% agree with you.
When he's in there, Debo looked legit. We look like we had Zach Ertz of last year. Everybody's game. Raise the bar.
You've absolutely nailed it. I mean, the thing I was going to get to, and that was my next point. Ian, I've starred your question, mate, so I'll come back to you a little bit later on, but stick with us. We will answer that, I promise you. I'm looking at that, and the thing that got me there when Terry's in the game is he's taking targets away from other people. Not what I mean by that is you have to plan for 17 being in the game. So clearly Denver's done their homework, and they're either going to double team him or they're leaving Pat Surtain on him, who is their best corner. We get that, understanded, and then it's like, right,
this guy was Defensive Player of the Year last year.
Correct. And then you go, well,
Pat Surtain is.
Yeah, no. Then you go, well, hang on a minute. What are we going to do here? Because you've got to put him on Terry. It means that people like Zach Ertz can elevate, and it wasn't as if the ball wasn't being shared around people, as I'm sure we'll get into. But Zach Ertz had his best game of the season. Terry had his best game of the season. It's no coincidence that these sort of things. I know, but it's not a coincidence that these things are happening. 419 yards total against Denver, who is second best offense in the entire league. That is their most they have given up against a team since week 2.
Yeah.
So
that's just it. We moved the ball. And this is it. Terry makes the difference. And I mentioned
He does.
before, we mentioned a while back, when you don't know who wide receiver one, everybody else gets elevated up one spot. And the matchups are awful for wide receivers because our number 2 isn't a wow factor like a 1B would be, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So Debo was always struggling, and he's been struggling for weeks. I mean, he got a touchdown like last week, but actually production throughout the whole game, he didn't do anything really. And the same thing with most of his games when Terry's not been in. The best time our offense has been actually looking half decent, was when Terry was in. That was against Dallas. It was Dallas, was it? Then he got hurt again.
It was. Yeah.
So and we actually looked okay on offense then in that game. I know we lost, but it was still better on offense. This week against the second best defense in the NFL.
Yes.
Against the best corner, and Terry still produced, even though he's been out for 7 of the last 8 games.
96 yards, 7 receptions, and a TD. That was his stat line.
14 attempts. I mean, targets. Sorry, that's exactly
what.
That's
14
what you need.
targets.
You need to start getting. That's what I'm saying. Our quarterback started to give him the ball. Mm-hmm. We weren't just going, he's on the field. We're trying to be cute and clever. No. Let's get 17 the ball when he's on the field. And that's how it was. Okay, he only got a 50% catch rate, but that's not all on him. Because some of those targets were broken up by Pat Surtain, and other ones were kind of just weren't accurate enough. You know what I mean? So it's not all Terry like dropping balls and stuff. Because I don't think he dropped one. Did he drop one? I can't even remember if he dropped one at all. But that he could have caught himself without being blocked off.
I'm not sure.
So I don't think he did. So he makes such a difference, man, to our offense.
It does. The stat that got me was, I'm reading it here. 30 first downs was the most that any team has had this year against Denver. 30 in that game, which is just. Yeah, that just says it all, really. I mean, we'll get into it a little bit more. Rod says.
QB.
Yeah, exactly. Rod says here, just think this weekend it could be Terry, Debo, Noah B, and Burks. Wouldn't go too far about Noah Brown. I mean, that man is a ghost. He's here and he's gone the next week.
Getting off the bench, you know what I mean? That's the problem with him. So.
Another thing he said, like I said, Joe Witt Jr. had the same effect EB had on the team, made them regress. Don't disagree with you, mate. I do not disagree with you at all. I mean, he's still around. He's still around, but in what capacity? I don't know. And Kime asked, obviously, Dan Quinn a question this week and said, what are your thoughts about taking the play calling on again? Are you going to get someone in? And he said, I'm going to consider it for next year and be the defensive coordinator and call the plays as well as being the head coach, which it's a lot to take on. It's a lot to take on differently. But if you can trust people like Cliff to do their job on the offensive side of the ball, and you're covered in specials, then there's no reason why you can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. I mean, it tends to be the other way around. Most of the NFL head coaches is that the offensive-minded guys will call the plays. Sean Payton still does it. There's Shanahan does it, McVay. All these guys, even though they're still head coach, they still call the plays on offense. Mm-hmm. But not many guys on defense actually do that. Normally, even though the defensive-minded head coach still normally has a defensive coordinator who actually calls the plays. So it's interesting if DQ wants to do that full time. Next season, that'll be really interesting. I mean, I think you'll definitely get more out of our players than what Joe Witt or even maybe a guy with no name that you're trying to bring up. I think GQ would get more out of our system. But as I say, it depends if he really wants to go down that route. Personally, I wouldn't. If I was him, I wouldn't do that. Personally, unless he really, really loves calling the plays. Just because, say, the added stress and the added that your head's going to be on the chopping block, you know what I mean? So, because your head could be on the chopping block there a lot easier. Just like we were calling for Joe Witt for months,
Yeah.
And eventually you give out. But obviously, when you're the head coach, that means the head coach gets fired as well. See what I mean? So this is why it puts him on a bit more of a knife edge for him, as in him in his career as the head coach as well. So. He's got to make double sure he really wants to be the defensive coordinator next season.
Agreed. Just a quick shout out to Jesse, obviously co-host on Bleeding Burgundy and good mate of ours. So he's just enjoying a CT scan while waiting for them to administer a drug cocktail so he can float out of this hellhole. Not sure if you're aware or not, but Jesse's in a car accident yesterday. And he's in concussion protocol. He's in concussion protocol at the minute. He is, yeah. He's all right. No, he's okay. I think the guy just got T-boned when he was turning left into a junction, so it's written off the works car. So not an ideal situation, but as far as I'm aware, he's messaging. He's obviously watching us, so he can't be like, I'm dying. You know what I mean? So, but
to be fair, that would be people's last wishes, though, to listen to us before they die, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? Like, that's just facts.
Well, yeah, that's true. Jesse, get better soon, mate. All right, that's all I'll say on that one. And thanks for being here as well. Offensively wise, I mean, we can talk a little bit more. I mean, things that made me smile and made me think, actually, this is working is, as you said, under 2 seconds to throw that ball, and get the ball out well. The offensive line was unbelievable in this game. I mean, Connolly, Cosme, and Laramie Tunsil were three of the highest graded players by PFF this week. Cosme was the absolute highest graded offensive lineman in the entire NFL. I mean, he's coming back into it now. It's taken him a few weeks to get back to the level that we knew he could be, which is he can be a Pro Bowl guard, no doubt in my mind. And now Connolly's starting to see that tandem that I'm used to you being here now, Sam, inside me, so I know how you're going to play, which took a few weeks, and it was a rough time for our rookie. But I genuinely believe now we do have two bookend tackles now. Which is, you cannot argue with that. That is what you need in the NFL, and it was great. It was great to see them all performing really well. Even we've got to shout out Chris Paul, man. Chris Paul's made a big difference.
He's doing a really good job
on that side. From a guy who couldn't start and was a bit part player, he's made a huge impact in that offensive line this year. Especially when you've got Al Shitty, as you call him, and Turnstile Wiley. Turnstile Wiley are your backups now.
Yeah, they're definitely going them, mate. They're going with these them two bombs.
There you go. There you go. What do you think? Was the O-line impressive for you, or?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, what I really like to say was Seaward getting the ball early, and we were gashing him for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until he started to really recognise what was going on. The first couple of drives we were really good on the ground, and that's obviously down to the O-line, because our running backs don't really have that kind of amazing vision, so you got to create the holes for them. And they were doing a good job. Connolly and Cosme on that right side, they were doing a lot. They were doing a lot for him on that side at the start. So yeah, I mean, they were solid. I said that they were solid. Mariota. I mean, the thing I don't get about Mariota, like, is he's 35 years old, whatever it is, and he's still a flaming idiot. Like, why is he throwing the ball when he's jumping in midair?
I know. It's
every time he
boneheaded,
jumps
isn't
in
it?
midair, he tends to fuck it up. So it's like, don't throw the ball when you're in midair, like jumping up, or don't run with the ball and then try and hurdle dudes. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you're not Saquon. Just stop doing shit like that. Like, because every time you do it, you cause a turnover, and it's just not cool, man. So stop doing it.
It isn't.
Most of the game, he's really good. He's pretty solid. He's pretty solid.
Yeah,
he's a bonehead play. It's like, what are you doing, man?
It's always one a game, isn't it? One a game's coming.
But it's always like
critical
play,
times.
We never get away with it, though. We never get away with that bonehead play. We always get picked off, or we always have fumble recovery for them, or something like that. It's never like, bonehead play, but we get away with it. It's never one of them, and that's the only problem with Mariota. But again, that's the reason why you mentioned earlier. That's the reason why you end up being a starter, then end up actually regressing and being a backup.
Yeah. But I mean, if you look at backups across the league, Mario's right there. I mean, he could start in for a lot of teams. I think Mariota could genuinely start for 10 teams in this league, no problem whatsoever. I honestly believe that. No, I do. When you look at who they're trotting out, I mean, the Bengals. Who they've trotted out this year. Minnesota could do with a Mariota. New Orleans, definitely. The Giants, definitely. The Jets, definitely. There's lots and lots of teams out there.
Some solid QBs, really.
No, behave yourself. I mean, Jackson Dart. The questions are out on him for me.
Put points on the board, and then you've got
Winston.
Winston, but he catching touchdowns.
I know. I did see
That's
that.
That's what Winston does. But yeah, obviously, I think
got to eat that W. Yeah,
I think the other guy's gone.
Russ.
Wilson. I think Wilson's probably finished, as in like he probably won't even get to the job.
Yeah, he won't.
The other two, I think Winston will still be around, hanging around, back up. That's the thing. You see, if you can get Winston, that's hot. He's like a bloody wow. Oh my god, what a quarterback this guy is, and then in the next game he'll throw 4 interceptions. And that's the problem with him. He's so up and down. Hence why he lost the starting jobs everywhere he's been.
quick question we need to talk about as well from this game, and it really it got to me, is the officiating. The non-tripping call was an absolute joke, as Rod just points out there. I think this is genuinely one of the worst officiating crew and games that I've seen for a very long time.
I thought, especially near the end as well. No, the trip wasn't near the end, but in general,
the 10-second runoffs,
and then that last drive, man, where we got like 3 penalties for virtually nothing. I just thought, wait, were you taking the piss? Intentional grounding on Mariota.
That was wild.
Like what are you doing? Like, fucking.
He threw it over his head.
But he slipped.
He threw it over his head, and Terry slipped.
He slipped on the floor. It's like he's not going to be in prison because he fucking slipped on the floor. It's kind of like, come on, ref. What are you doing?
I know.
Like, it was ridiculous.
The other side as well. I mean, I know we don't do it here, but on other podcasts, it's like you want to give out a head smack. It has to happen for the guy who decided, let's resod that field. No, bro. What are you doing?
Everyone was on the bar,
so many people were slipping, and we were lucky as well that we didn't have that. Defensively wise, I mean, I thought the corners played really well. Didn't hear much from him. I thought Will Harris did make a difference in that back end to solidify it, but he does give up a big play every now and again, and I just think I'm still not convinced on.
The thing is, that most DBs do.
They're gunning. They're gunning.
If you give the quarterback enough time, any quarterback will kill you, even deep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of, you can't play perfect football. We'd like to, of course, and we strive for it, but you never really achieve perfect football. So there's always going to be an element of a burnt play, as long as it doesn't go for 7. You know what I mean? That's what you don't want. If you give up a 40-yarder, I find hopefully we can play bend don't break defense, which is exactly what we did for most of it. But you don't want to get torched for going to the house. Do you know what I mean? That's the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally agree with you. I mean, I'm trying to think of the other place. Burks.
Oh, that catch was fucking insane,
we've got to talk about it. Is that one of the best catches you've ever seen? I still think the catch that Terry did in the home opener against the Chargers was still the best catch I've ever seen in my life. But that Burks catch is right up there, like with one of, like, how the hell did he actually do that? I have no idea how he caught that ball, and with the separated finger.
Yeah, exactly.
One that he's just had surgery on that hand.
Yeah, exactly.
2 weeks ago.
It was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal catch. It reminded me of OBJ's one from years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It was like that.
And did you see the OBJ tweet, 13 on 13?
Yeah.
That was cool. I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, nice. I like that. I like what you did there. But it genuinely was awesome.
Oh, it was phenomenal. I mean, actually, live in the game, I thought it was overthrown. I actually turned away.
I did too.
The play, I was like, I was actually fucking overthrown that. And it's like, I then just go, whoa, what do you mean? What the fuck's going on? So you look back and it's like, fuck, he fucking caught it. And that's the way for me to play
it. I know.
Crazy, man. It was just a crazy, crazy catch. I mean, I say one of the best ones I've seen for a Washington receiver for a long, long time.
Agreed,
Terry's done a few nice catches, don't get me wrong, but I mean, one-handed like that with pressure as well, because he wasn't just on his own there doing that. The guy was up his ass. It was reasonable, coverage on him, and it was just ridiculous. It was just a ridiculous play.
Any questions about why you go for 2 at the end? It doesn't even come into focus, does it?
I mean, I get it.
Defense been on there for a long drive, 7.5 minutes. They're knackered. They've just come out as well. You had the ball just before the overtime. I understand why. They're going to be tired. You're thinking to yourself, let's go it. For me, that was just an absolute... Yeah, we did. But
we gave him the ball.
Yeah, but we're
didn't
also...
make any sense.
I didn't understand that bit.
Because that's what you were saying there. They've been on the defense for most of the bloody quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've been driving, as you say, for ages and ages, and just
I don't think we won. I don't think we won the toss, though, did we?
I think we did. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm sure. Because all I heard was, we're going to shoot that way and stuff like this. And
I think so. Yeah. If you don't win the toss, you get to choose which way you're going. So I think we actually lost the toss in overtime. But it is what it is. I just thought it was a heads-up play from Nick Bonito. you can't deal with that.
The problem is that you can't leave him as a total free
Unguarded.
rusher. Yeah, you can't do that because Benito is a disruptive player. You know what I mean? He's been class all season. Benito made big plays, but he wasn't massively in the game. I think we did really well to kind of manage him. You know, he's normally one of those big disruptor guys, and like he wasn't really doing a lot. He had a few tackles, but he wasn't like the same Nick Benito that you normally see. And I thought we did really well scheming around him, obviously until the end, you know, which obviously came up big time and blah blah blah, you know. So it was just kind of like
just an underthrown ball from Marcus. There's nothing you can really do with it, is there?
It got blocked, didn't it? I mean, it was just a case of I understand why he went for it. I do. I mean, to be fair, I wasn't mad with the decision going for it in overtime because it was a case of, well, if we lose, we're already out of playoffs anyway. Let's just go for it. Let's see if we can win it. You know, take it by be aggressive. I'm all for that. Okay, it didn't work. Okay, we lost, but you know, it showed that we still had a lot of balls to come back because they scored touchdown on their first drive of the overtime, and we came down there, marched down, we got one ourselves. So it shows that we were in this game all the way to the end, and that's all I ask for my players, man. Is like, you know, on a Sunday or Monday, whatever it is, you know, you're going to play, you're going to win, you're going to lose, but it's how you play. You know what I mean? Like if it's like this, if we were losing games like this every week, I'd be like, oh, you know. We're just a few percent here and there away, you know what I mean? Like, look at the ball. One time could go the other way, and then we start winning these games. But unfortunately, most of the time, it's been fucking blowouts, and that's been the disappointing part of it all. But that game, I thought, finally we started to show that you gave Denver a scare, and that's all. That's all you can ask. If you can't win, you want to do the next best thing, which is basically give them like, oh my god, we got out of there lucky. You know what I mean?
And that's a team that was 9-2 at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
they're probably guaranteed playoffs already. You know,
well, they are. They're at 10 and 10-2, aren't they? So
so they're virtually guaranteed playoffs. And you know, I say their defense is crazy good, and we made them look
average,
just decent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
And I say a lot of things. I had to say that I think the play calling was a lot better. I thought getting the ball out quick was again masterstroke. I thought Cliff. They say actually called a good game for most of it, and I say Terry makes a huge difference. That's why we need another guy like him that people are genuinely scared of, that makes the difference, that elevates other players. That's the thing, you see. It's not just about how good he is as a receiver. It's like he elevates everybody else. Field, Zach Ertz thinks I've got to step up. Debo thinks I've got to step up because he's on the field. That he's going to lead by example. I need to look like I'm doing the business as well. And he did. No, they were all three were pretty damn good. To be fair, I thought against Denver, I thought they were really good. Yeah, I mean, I say when you can tell when we've got no deep threat.
Yeah,
you can tell there's no deep threat. This game over. It's like, oh yeah, we'll just settle down on these guys. And Debo, as we know, is a horizontal guy, so he's not going to go deep. And then Jalen Lane doesn't scare anyone, so it's carry on. You see what I mean? Like it's just one of them things. So when you got a Terry, or we probably go on to potential replacements.
We'll talk about that.
No, another guy will probably. You know what?
We will talk about that. Yeah.
You know, I'll be looking into that as well because he's another deep threat. Yeah, you can't have too many good deep threats.
So we'll go back to a bit of the news then, because that kind of wraps up the game. And thank you for that, Scouse. As per John Keim today and others that reported it earlier, Darnell Savage has asked for a release from the team. Keim has tweeted that we have actually released him. And now we've activated in his place D-end Drake Jackson off IR. So he's now been activated to the full roster. I thought Darnell Savage was pretty good. I don't know where he wants to go. I think he's concerned that his snap numbers have gone down since he came in the last few weeks. Where he goes to, I don't know. Yeah, it's because Harris came back, yeah. And they want to play Quan Martin and they want to play Reeves, because they're known in the system. I understand that, but I actually rated him. I thought he's pretty good. I thought he was okay. Will he go to a contender? I don't know. You probably just try and get on at another team. Try and get on their practice squad or whatever.
He wants to be released, though. I thought that was quite a strange one. Unless his agents told him, look, if we can get released,
I can get you.
Teams want to see it,
yeah. And maybe that's what he's doing. You know, we don't know, but it is a strange.
Because it's not like it was a money or cap casualty or something like that. It was just and Will House is back as a starter, so I want to leave. Doesn't really give you that kind of feel that he was there for like kind of I really want to wear the shirt. You know what I mean?
I'm a team first guy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
Nah.
you do some my snap? Oh, yeah, my snaps. Okay, then fine. I want to leave. It's fucking weak. I think it's weak personally. But
Bit odd that. And
it's not like he's old. Von Miller thinking, oh my, when he got a year left or 2 years left in my whole NFL career, and I need to go to a contender now. You know, it's not one of them. No, Savage is like, what, 26, 27, something like that. It's just kind of like, come on, bro. Like, I thought that was poor. Poor show.
Agreed. Other news then, higher ticket prices. Season tickets have been announced. Hello, it's higher ticket prices for next season. Average a rise of 16% on tickets. Obviously, people have taken to social media. I've seen various posts from different people saying, well, hold on. 2 seasons ago, you gave me 10 games, which included pre-season. Now you're only giving me 8. Pre-season aren't included in this game. And we've also been announced that next season we have a home game abroad. No mention of obviously whereabouts it is, but within the season.
Technically, you lose another home game, aren't you?
Another home game, so you're going to get eight home games next year.
So
it's 9. Sometimes it's 9. Yeah. I think we're meant to have 9 next year. Yeah,
that's right. Because we had 9 away this year. I mean, we went to Madrid. Oh, okay, yeah,
that's right. So it's 8 games. I think within the season ticket cost, and I understand people's frustrations. But Josh Harris has got a stadium to pay for, and the other ownership plans. They've invested a lot of money in the stadium already to try and do it up, which I get, and actually it's not a bad experience. I don't understand why fans are complaining about FedEx still, and everyone's saying it's the shittest stadium in the NFL. If that's the shittest stadium in the NFL, then yeah, then the NFL's doing well. Let's be honest, because I have been to. They want to come to Lee RMI on a Tuesday with me. And then you actually you're having a shit in a wooden box. Do you know what I mean? Come on, there's a lot worse stadiums that you could go and watch things under wriggly tin roofs and all that sort of stuff, and inhale a bit of asbestos while you're there. So don't worry about that. Higher prices. Do I agree with it? No. I do feel like fans are starting to get taken a little bit for a ride. Evening, John. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah,
boy.
Do I think that fans are getting taken for a ride? No, in some ways, because the team owes you nothing. Team owes you nothing. They don't owe. We're doing this for you know what I mean, for a saying we're doing this because we like to do this podcast. Team doesn't owe me anything. Team don't owe Scouse anything. Team don't owe anyone in the chat anything. You pay your money, and that's it. They should do, yeah. Obviously, should put on a private jet for us every week. But there you go. That's what it is.
Until we lost our buddy Mojo in Madrid.
But the home game abroad thing. There's been a bit of rumours and speculation around as well. Is we are on Jacksonville slate as well as an away game next year. So do we end up doing? Yeah. So do we end up doing a back to back? And be the like Minnesota did it this year. They went to Dublin, then they went to Spurs.
Cleveland did it the year before, I think.
So, they did, 2 games.
It's been done before, and the Jags as well.
Jags have done it more than one game. But could we be the back to back because we've got a designated home game, but we're also an away game for Jacksonville. So could the Jacksonville game be at Wembley?
And then we get into the home game.
And then we do it the other way around. And it's not necessarily going to be London. We know that. There's been talk again of going back to Madrid. I wouldn't be au fait with that. It was great.
Madrid need to, I think Madrid need to kind of... I understand, it's got to be, that there were rookies that kind of hosting it. Do you know what I mean? So you're going to see some mistakes, and there was quite a lot of mistakes, I thought, during the game and before the game and getting in. No food, drink, it wasn't available, stuff like that, and all these things. So it's one of them things for me. It's kind of they need to really learn the lessons from this year's one, personally.
Yeah, agreed.
The stadium's still fantastic, yeah, sure, but besides that, it was quite difficult for fans, I thought.
Yeah, I thought that we talked about this last week, but I think you're right in the way that it worked with no food. Food was cold. There was no real options. There was it was a disaster to try and get in.
Like all that should have been fully stocked. Like the day of the game, like you know what I mean, like hours before. It's like, come on, fellas, like I mean, Real Madrid might not want to eat too much food while they're out there, but
John says, let's do it in Harrogate. Yeah, why not? Let's go to Harrogate. Harrogate's a great town. Great town.
nice Harrogate.
It's a lovely place. It's a lovely place. Betty's tea room would be chocker, wouldn't it?
Or go to York and go to Betty's. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Well, Betty's is obviously a Yorkshire thing, but it started in Harrogate. Then you've got York.
Did it start in Harrogate?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, its original store is still in Harrogate, and there's also one in Northallerton. There's also one in Thirsk and one in Northallerton as well. So there's 4 Betty's tea rooms. Not that I'm a Betty connoisseur, but
seems like it looks like you've been to all.
It's because I lived there. I used to live up near Northallerton. So I lived in Northallerton, so I know that Betty's is up there. Anyway, we got off topic there. Other news, mate. Hard Knocks obviously was on Tuesday for our American audience. Hard Knocks is on right now on Sky, I believe, at 9:00. It is also, I think, on BT or TNT, whatever they call it now. You'd have to have a look at your local listing to find out exactly where that is. It is on DAZN, and it will be on the DAZN Game Pass app, but we've been told it's most likely going to be on after the season has finished, which is no good to man nor beast. There was a link kicking about last night. Someone uploaded it very kindly to YouTube, so I did sit and watch it last night, and then mysteriously, it's not on YouTube anymore. I did laugh at that. So you said, I've just got a spinny wheel, bro. That's sorry, Scouse. I'm literally watching it right now.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, you got your link. Yeah, that's all right.
We had only had on that show about 5 minutes. Was there anything that was worth noting? Not really. Dan Quinn driving his G-Wagon through Virginia. Happy days. The one bit that really stood out, I suppose, from that was that after the loss, you heard Quinn talking in the locker room. You know how he breaks the team down, which we haven't seen much of this year. And then one thing that stood out for me was the words that he mentioned. He said, "We may have lost tonight, but we're not lost." You know, and it was the way that he emphasised that we're not lost. You know, and you could see that within the team there, that whole camaraderie, that brotherhood, the way that, you know, culture is built.
What was this game that he was talking of there?
Bengals.
The Bengals game?
Okay. Yeah, not Bengals, the Denver game, the one that's just gone, Broncos.
Oh, okay, so they showed us that. Okay, so the most recent one. Okay, that's fine.
So he's saying, obviously, we're not lost, which is, you know, it is what it is. And I'm like, John says he should hope so. It was a home game. So they're not lost. But I know what he's meaning by that, as in we're not a lost cause of a team, is what he's trying to say. And yeah, I got it, and I understood where he's coming from, and it was quite. You could see it was quite poignant, and I was like, and everyone bought into that, and I thought, yeah, as you said, Scouse, before, we're not far away. This is one of them performances that actually it was as you said, it's the best game I've watched all season. You know, really.
I actually enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the game. He probably lost.
Yeah,
I mean,
I did too.
There was up and downs to it. It was good. You know, I thought it was a good game. And if I had 17 of those, I'd be, okay, not losing by a point every time, but that type of game, you know, where it's ebbs and flows. You know, it's you know, the greatest competitor wins type thing, and it really is like close to close. I mean, I hate blowouts. I can't stand them. No matter even if we are the beneficiary, you know what I mean? Like when we played the Raiders and we put 40 up, I was like, great, we won, fantastic, but you know, it wasn't a real game. It wasn't gladiators out there, you know what I mean? It was just like, you know, and then us getting hammered. It's just a case of I hate that, and that's why I struggle to watch football, as in like college football, because most of that is like 80-5. You know what I mean? And you're just thinking, well, what's this? And only when you get a real kind of two really good teams playing, I'd even contemplate watching them, because I don't want to see. I hate seeing blowouts. I want to see a competitive game. I want to see the better man win, not ridiculous. You know what I mean? That's what I love about the sport.
Do you agree with that? With Rod's comment there that the team identity has been found. I think so.
I mean, to be fair, I mean we should have had this done last season. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and I think we did. I genuinely think we did. I just thought we rode the train very well last season, and I think we won games that were very close. You know, one-score games, 7 wins that were one-score games last year. You're not winning one-score games this year because we just haven't had the fitness.
We've never been close enough. We haven't been close enough in most of these games. We've been getting blown out. You know, there's games we've won. Okay, the Giants, we won that one reasonably easy. You know, and then we had the Raiders and we smoked them. But besides that, we've been behind the 8 ball for most of the season. Now again, injuries and poor play calling by Cliff as well, not just Witt. It's just kind of cost us a lot. But I say,
agreed.
But again, I agree with Johnny. I think you mentioned earlier, we were right in it to the end. And that's all I asked for. That's all I asked for my team, is to be there, to be competitive to the end of the game. Okay, we lost it another time. It could be the right way. It could be another way around, but it hasn't worked that way.
Hang on a minute, you two are on fire today. What's going on here? John's saying, yeah, Scouse is right. In a lot of games, we're down 2 scores in the first quarter out of the gate. Yeah. True, absolutely right. You're not. No one's arguing with that. That is the correct point. And we'll get on to our. Go on, mate. No, you go.
No, it's just due to poor play calling, poor execution, and then obviously injuries. Again, all these things don't help.
They don't. You're right. It's been one of them seasons. We'll get into the injury report then. So we'll start with our injury. Rod's just nailed it as well. Yeah, Rod, we'll send you a link. You can come on, and so can you, John. But yeah, the injury report from Wednesday. We haven't got Thursdays yet. It's not out as of yet. Deluxe, if you're still here, I'm sure you normally get it quite quickly. So if it's out, please let me know. Zach Ertz was a rest day, did not practice. Drake Jackson, as we talked about, had been elevated to the 53. He was still on a did not practice for a groin-stroked knee. Javon Kinlaw didn't practice with a back injury. Von Miller was on a rest day. Laramie Tunsil was on a rest day. Bobby Wagner, knee, did not practice. Jaden Daniels, left elbow, was limited. We still don't know who is actually playing quarterback for both sides, which we'll get into. Frankie Louvu, shoulder, limited. And then Noah Brown, groin, knee, he was full. And Tyler Ott was also back with his back problem. He was a full participant as well. So that was from us, from the Vikings side. I have it pulled up here. Donovan Jackson did not practice with an ankle. Levi Drake Rodriguez with a neck injury didn't practice. And then the rest are all limited. I'll do John's little Christmas song, limited. Jonathan Allen was limited. It was a non-rest day, vet day. Concussion for Blake Brandel, guard. Ty Chancellor was with a knee injury. Jonathan Grenard with a shoulder injury. Javon Hargrave was a rest day. Theo Jackson, neck injury, full participant. Aaron Jones, shoulder, limited. Ryan Kelly, hip, limited. Josh Metellus, shoulder, limited. Jalen Redmond, hip injury, limited. And then Harrison Smith was on a vet rest day. Christian Darrisaw, knee, he was full participant. And JJ McCarthy, concussion, was a full participant.
So they've got quite a long list, haven't they?
They've got they're quite banged up. They are quite banged up. And John's right in what he's saying there. John Allen won't miss this game. I agree, he won't miss this 100%, game.
100%.
But the interesting thing is, I don't know if you saw the Seahawks game and the Vikings. It's 26-0 to the Seahawks last week. Obviously, Seahawks are 4-8 on the season. Max Brosmer was the quarterback last week for them. Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota. But the Seahawks. He was
horrible, didn't he? I watched him. Yeah,
the Seahawks won 26-0 against the Vikings last week.
Oh, so yeah. So Seattle dominated the whole game.
They did. So he was 19 of 30, 126 yards, no touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. All in the first half, by the way. Now, they're team leaders. Carson Wentz is their highest rated QB at the moment, and he has 1,200 yards. I know. Jordan Mason is their highest rushing running back with 578. Justin Jefferson has 799 in yards. Eric Wilson's their top tackler with 85. And that Joshua Metellus, the safety, he has 2 interceptions on the season. They are a 4-8 team and are bottom of the NFC North, which is obviously a good league this year with the Bears, the Packers, the Lions, they're always going to struggle. One of them teams is always going to struggle. It's kind of like the East in that respect, where you're going to get probably 3 competitive teams and one that isn't competitive. But the Vikings have been pretty poor this year, and whoever they play at quarterback, I have a sneaky feeling we're going to do all right in this game, mate. What are you? I mean, if it's that kid, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, is that what we're going to take on Bosner again? Is that what we're going to have? Or is it going to be McCarthy? Because he looks like.
Well, I think it's going to be McCarthy. I think it's going to be McCarthy. That's what they're leaning towards.
What did I say about McCarthy when he came out of college?
Yeah, you're right.
Shit. That he's never a top 10 pick, and he shouldn't have been. And they lost me bet because he got, Minnesota moved up to 10th, and God, remember that with Tony. Remember that bet I had? So
yeah.
Because he's never should have been picked in the top 10. The guy is a game manager at best. He's not a guy who's going to put the game on his shoulders and win it for you. He's just not one of them dudes. He had a great run game. This Minnesota offense is not that good, as in like run game. Aaron Jones, yeah, okay, good, but he's getting old. He's banged up all season. The other guy, Jordan Mason, again, who's he? 49ers backup guy. You see what I mean? Like these guys aren't top draw. I mean, Aaron Jones was when he was in his prime, sure, but he's getting on now. So
Justin Jefferson's very good, obviously.
Yeah, but things like with Jefferson.
But who's throwing him the ball? That's the problem.
But this is what makes me laugh about the Terry scenario. Now, obviously, I'm trying to compare Terry to JJ, really, but it's like when JJ's on the field, does he elevate the whole team?
No.
Does he still get his 100-yard games or 80-yard games with Bosner as quarterback? Terry had that with fucking Ryan Gilbert, whoever his goddamn name was. Gilbert Grape. What I mean? Yeah. But you see what I'm saying, though? It's kind of like, well, Terry's had all this shit. The Bosner-type level quarterbacks, the A.J. McCarthy level quarterbacks that are bang average or worse than that. And he still puts up numbers. JJ's not putting up many numbers this time around. He's not doing many touchdowns. He's not doing many. He's not doing as usual. Because he's got a shit quarterback, and that's understandable, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, he doesn't move. He doesn't... Does he elevate his team? Does he make his other receivers better? I don't think he does. He's a great receiver, don't get me wrong. But he's not making their number 2 better. No, he's not raising their games when he plays. See what I mean?
I'm just trying to pull up the Minnesota depth chart here. I mean, Jefferson and Jordan Addison are very good. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he hasn't done anything this year, but he is still good. Teams,
I know exactly how much he's done nothing. You know what I mean?
He is still a good wide receiver too. Being honest, T.J. Hawkinson, decent enough tight end.
Well, he was a very good tight end until he got hurt that time a few years back.
Yeah.
But again, they don't use him. McCarthy doesn't throw him the ball. See, this is what I'm saying. Like it's not a really good. I mean, they've got names, but they're not a very good offense, really.
Oh, I don't disagree with you. I don't think, and the record speaks for itself. The same as us, they're one more win than we have. We're a 2-point conversion away from being on the same record as they are. So, John says any tight end versus Wagner. Yeah, agreed.
Oh yeah, we know that was death trap and coverage. We know that. I mean, I know we got away with that great play in Madrid. When he stopped in the 4th down that time. But again, besides that, yeah, he's got awful in coverage. So, yeah, he shouldn't be anywhere near coverage. That's just a problem, a scheme problem that we do a lot.
John says, I think that if Jaden doesn't play, they low-key quietly shut him down for the final 3 games. Hot take, John. I think... I mean, Scouse, you're an advocate for this because you were saying player first. And I understand from your point of view where you're saying... Get better, he doesn't need the reps, he doesn't need this. For me, if I'm a player, there's 17 opportunities to play every season. I'm out there, I want to play. You know what I mean? And sometimes your heart rules your head. I understand that. But I think he does need the reps. And I think he does need to see it in live game practice. Because when you're in practice, as in practice on a practice field, you ain't seeing shit. And it's not until you get in that game.
You're taking on your own bang average defense.
Exactly. And they can't do anything. And it's only when you see live scrimmages or you see joint practices or pre-season. And let's be honest, if you're Jaden Daniels, you're not playing the vast majority of pre-season.
No.
So your real first go is game 1 in the season. And what happens in game 1 with every quarterback? They're rusty or they get injured. You know, and then look at Joe Burrow. Do you know what I mean? The same every year. He's injured early on. He's out for a long time. Comes back around about this sort of time. Then the Bengals go on an amazing run. They win 5, 6, 7 games, and they don't make the playoffs. It's going to happen again. It's going to happen exactly the same again. They're going to be like, oh, shit, we were 1 game away. You know, and that is kind of how I see it for Jaden in some respects. He's had 4 injuries this year, or he's had 4 injuries, since he's been here that have been quite serious, that have taken time away. I look at it and say, get as much reps and as much opportunities as you can right now.
Now, I agree to a certain extent, and I also agree that, for example, if we didn't have our receivers back, then I'd say don't play him.
Okay.
Only reason why, what is Jaden going to learn? Having reps with Chris Moore, with do you know what I mean? Like these piss poor receivers.
Yeah, no, Robbie Chosen's not going to give you much. River Craycraft. Yeah, you're all right, exactly. Thanks. Yeah.
So why would you risk your prized asset getting reps with those bums? It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. Whereas now we've got Terry back, and Noah Brown could be back, and we've got Burks who looks sharp, and Debo's still available. Okay, I'm for it. I'm for him coming back. And say as long as he feels ready and he's medically cleared, and they're not risking him, as in like he's still got this left arm still hanging off, then I'd be like, well, don't play him. But if he feels good and everything's good about it, and all our offense is actually available, which it actually would be, then I'm all for Jaden playing.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, John says
even though he won't get.
John says it's not even that. He said regular season is playing. He said I'm in the school of, play him. But he said I can understand it with our final 3 games. I get that. Then he's saying this is how you deal with adversity in the NFL. I think the value in that. Rod says JD5 won't be any rhythm coming back with the O-line. So with 3 games, he ain't going to get any rhythm.
Well, I mean, potentially. But when Jaden did play, he did have the same O-line. That's one thing that's been quite crazy, is that our O-line's been reasonably healthy.
Oh, you've done it now.
But it's true, though, isn't it?
It's true. It is true.
The only one that's been a problem is Cosme, because he missed most of until October, which I predicted that as well, that he'd back in October, didn't I? Remember that? So
yeah, you did.
And obviously, it's took him a while to get up to actual true game speed. And see, it takes time. Like a lot of guys from ACLs, even though they might be back in 9 months or whatever, they're still not the best shape that year after. It takes them another year. No,
it takes 18 months. Yeah. It takes 18 months.
You might be playing in 9 months, but to be at the real sharp level that it used to be at, it takes another year. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, we won't see the best out of Cosme until probably this time next year.
Yeah,
I really think so. Yeah, I really think so.
On any other injuries, definitely, man.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get into our fan questions then that we've got in. Vikings blitz all the time. They do, and they've got a very good defense as well. But I don't think it's as good as Denver, which doesn't give me any risk or any way of thinking this is going to be any worse. You're hopefully upgrading at quarterback with Jaden coming in.
Yeah, I think what Jaden's been struggling with when he has been in, he's holding the ball way too long.
Yeah, agreed.
That's been his biggest problem. And he's not seeing the reads as quickly as he was first year. Now, again, that could be down to, defenses are scheming him or giving him fake looks and all that, and really being really smart in their kind of play calling and kind of with the looks to show him, trying to confuse him. And I might be it's working because he does keep the ball way too long, especially this season. And then he's running, and then he's either sliding or he's getting smoked. Do you see what I mean? So, whereas last season he was seeing it was boom, 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 bang, and the ball was gone. It was just instant confidence. It was like, I know I'm going to get it there, bang. This year, I think he lost a lot of confidence. But again, I think due to some schemes like that showed him different looks that are kind of confusing him, but also too that he's been injured a lot. I think that also has knocked his confidence.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking at a little bit. So. It does, and that's why I think the reps help. That's why you got to see live. You got to see live blitzes. You got to see live defenses out there. Mario is better against the blitz, says Rod. Jaden or Marcus, I think we can eat against that defense, says John. 100% says Rod. I mean, Yeah, what do you think? What do you think? How do you think this is going to play out on Sunday? Do you think we win this game? I think we do. I think it's our best chance of a win this year. I think this is our best chance for a win.
Yeah, and also I think the Giants as well. We still got the Giants as well.
Yeah, I know.
I think they're probably going to be.
They're the two.
They're probably the two that we're going to probably win. Being honest, I think that's probably where I'm going to be at. I think Bro asked that a long time.
He did, yeah, he did. So there you go. So hand, I said to come back to it, Ian. So he says hand on heart, how many wins?
Vikings and Giants, exactly. Yeah.
So. And I don't disagree with that at all. I think it's going to be very difficult against a Cowboys side that are motivated, that are trying to win the division. They have serious weapons in Lamb and Pickens.
They're different level this year, man.
They're going to be. They're very good at the moment. They've turned it on at the time when they needed it to happen.
And the defense, they've put. I hear over the season they've actually traded or pinched guys from practice squads of 6 guys. They're starting on that defense, and that defense now is actually looking legit. Before it was getting roasted. Now they're settled in. They're looking good, man. I think they got Wilson. Was it Wilson from the Bengals, or was it?
Yes. Cleveland? Yeah, it was from the Bengals. Yeah.
Been outstanding since he's gone to Dallas. Been outstanding. So it's oh man.
Who did they trade for on deadline day? I think it was a D tackle. I can't remember. Anyway, it is what it is.
Williams? Was it Williams?
Yeah, it was Quinton Williams, wasn't it? That's who it was. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. From the Jets, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, from the Jets.
Another beast. And the guy who stepped up straight away. It isn't just I'm here now. It's no, I'm here to do something. You know what I mean? So I'm saying they could sneak the division because the Eagles aren't playing that well.
Eagles are not playing well. The Eagles are not playing well. And then obviously we've got 2 more games against the Eagles coming up after that. So, and I'll be honest with you,
I just want to. I mean, even if we can't, I mean, I just want us to
win one.
Yeah, be the fly in the ointment. You know what I mean? Just to kind of piss them off. Because.
You're giving the Eagles, you're giving the Cowboys the division, then, man.
Yeah, but I'd rather have that than the Eagles.
Okay.
I'm sick and tired of the Eagles. I'm done with them. I'm done with their arrogance, man, and their horrible nature as fans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what John. That's exactly what John says there. Play spoiler. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Let's ruin their season. See what I mean? Let's go there and ruin their season. Our season's ruined. Let's ruin yours. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what we said. If I was DQ, it's one of my messages to the players. Our season's been crap, but let's ruin their season as well. Love it. Would love that.
I know. Call me Ramsey. He's our first question. He said, Ayuk or Debo for next year? Now that is the question, and we knew, you you'd have them both. You alluded to it earlier. You alluded to it earlier. We have been very heavily linked with Brandon Ayuk. Now I fully appreciate the diva attitude. Both, yeah, I don't agree with that. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. We've been heavily linked with the divaness that is Brandon Ayuk, who is best mates with Jaden Daniels. So there's that connection there. There's the connection with the 49ers and Adam Peters, and until he is a free agent, we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I can't see his trade.
But do you want to pay $20 million to Deebo Samuel next year? That's more of the question, I would say, Scouse.
Being honest, I'd say no.
I would say the same. I don't think he's given us enough this year. I don't think he's given us enough this year to warrant that amount of money. Now I had to look before, and we can have. Now I'm playing GM again. If we cut Lattimore and we cut Payne, yes, we have a bit of dead money. We have $6 million in dead money, but we have effective cap space then of $118 million. It's a lot of money to spend.
We've got a lot of players to get in as well, though. So
we have. We only have 30. We only have 36 signed players.
Yeah.
So
we need,
it's tough.
We need 90 really at the start, and then we bring it down to 53. So.
Yeah, we do. But you can fill that with bums if you really wanted to. Do you know what I mean? And people who you're going to cut. But in this off season, it's going to be tough. Would you genuinely look for a wide receiver 2 option in the draft, or are you looking for a proven veteran? Kind of like George Pickens went to Dallas, who still needs to get paid, But they still need to get paid.
Money, but
he's going to get some serious money. Jerry's going to have to open that checkbook. Or do you go for someone like Ayuk, who you take a flyer on because you know what he's got in the league, you know he's got the talent, but he's coming off. But he's coming off the. No, it's a flyer because he's coming off the injury. You don't know what you're going to get after that.
Yeah, but it's like anybody you take who's had an injury. You know,
I know. Every player gets injured. I get that.
Yeah,
I'd sign Ayuk tomorrow if he was a free agent. Facts.
Yeah.
But am I willing to give? Am I willing to give him 25 million a year?
Probably.
Which is probably what he's wanting, if not 30.
Yeah, I think the thing is though with the NFL is what have you done for me lately, league?
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is
he ain't done anything in a year.
He's been injured, yeah. So, but the year before when he was really good, that's what got him his $30 million a year deal.
Correct.
Now, obviously, we'd like to think we can get him back to that level, but it won't be the first season he's here. It'll take him a year to settle back in, as you mentioned for previous long-term injuries with Cosmic. So it'd be the same type thing. Even if we got him, he won't be like, don't expect him to be hitting the ground, like skinning guys all day long like he did in his first year back. But so that's why, for me, I'd probably try and do a structured deal.
Okay.
Maybe like his first year, maybe it might be a lower ball cap, it might be like an 18 million deal, something like that. Maybe a heavy guarantee on that first year, and then once he gets a bit better, because the year after he's going to be that player, he's going to be back to his real form, barring any other injuries. Then it goes up. Know what I mean? Like an escalator. It goes
up.
And structure it like that. And I think that I'm sure you'd take that because he'd want to play with Jaden anyway.
Of course he would.
So I think he would do that as long as the numbers seemed okay. He might not be getting to 30s unless he's hitting ridiculous touchdowns and 1,500 yards and all the rest of it. If he's not getting those things, then he won't be getting echelon of 30 plus. But I think if you could do that escalated contract over the next 3-year deal or something like that, I think that could be the way to go.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at his contract now. I know there's a potential out in 2027 for them, irrespective of what he's done, but he's given back his guaranteed money this year, which is really strange off the new deal. His cap hit for this year was only 1.17 million, with a signing bonus of 3.7. So his total cap hit as a whole, base salary is 1.1, was 9.9 million this year. His base cap hit next year is only 15 million off the current contract that he's on. So...
yeah. So again, if you're going to trade for him, that's the contract you're going to have to give him.
That's the contract you want. But at the same time, what would they... And we haven't got anything to trade. That's the point. We ain't got anything to trade.
I mean, to be fair, if they're looking to cut him, you can get him for a 7th.
Probably.
Let's be honest. If they're looking to cut him, they'll look for anything. A 7th's better than 0. So they're taking the cap hits anyway. So for them, it doesn't really matter. So if we're the only team interested, or he's the only team, Washington's the only team that he's interested in, then you can get him for dirt cheap, pennies on the pound from that angle. But realizing you've got to pay his contract, whether it's contract settlement or whatever it's set out. Like I don't know his full ins and outs of his total contract at the moment, but yeah, because I don't know how much how much is cap. See what I mean? Like I don't know all that. So
Rod says restructure a deal for Debo, and it depends on if the 49ers stuff with Ayuk are releasing him. And then John obviously said as well, facts. He said, we have a lot of roster spots to sign. Only a few draft picks, won't be able to be so choosy. A guy like Debo is valuable, and I agree, escalations and incentives. You could probably do them sort of deals as you just suggested, Scout, with both of them. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine a team that we go, right, okay, let's see what we've got in this wide receiver room. We've got Terry, we've got Ayuk, we've got Debo in the slot. Oh, and backing them up, we've got, Treylon Burks, we've got Luke McCaffrey and Jalen Lane.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's scaring teams, doesn't it? You're thinking, damn, you've got 2 deep threats. Actually, 3 if you want to add Lane in. You've got 3 deep. You've got 3 deep threats, and then you've got a great guy who goes across the middle and does a lot of horizontal stuff like Debo.
So I'm saying, and then Luke.
And Luke does a little bit as well. And Luke does a little bit of that, and he was getting better until he got hurt. It's typical. Yeah, I mean that is a hell of a lot scarier wide receiver room than Noah Brown, the guy who can't stay healthy.
Robbie Chosen, River Craycraft.
These dudes, you know,
just
fucking,
dudes off the couch.
What's his name? Fucking, what's again? Chris Moore. Yeah.
Chris Moore. Yeah.
Love these guys. These guys are well scaring those fucking cornerbacks. Pat Sertain shitting himself, isn't he? Going, oh yeah, I'm taking fucking Robbie Chosen today, bro. You know, see what I mean? Like these guys are a joke.
We're taking on Robbie. Who's out for the Commanders today then? Oh man, it's going to be really difficult defending against Robbie Chosen and River Craycraft.
Yeah, the Chosen no one. That's what he is, mate. Fucking awful. You know, and this is it. I understand, you know, we had injuries and, you know, it definitely messed us up. But it's kind of like, man, like our backups were fucking dog shit. Let's face it. I mean, I was happy with taking the chance on Burks because I loved him coming out of college. I thought he was a really great player, and then obviously didn't do too much at the Titans, but was hurt a lot. And then, you know, and then he comes up with that wonder catch last week, and you're thinking, you know what? The talent's still there. Can you keep him healthy? You know, and then that's going to be the big thing. Can the medical team keep this guy healthy for 15, 17, 20 games, you know? That's the hard part.
True.
But if you can, McDonald, you got a great player there if you can keep him healthy.
Cam McDonald, he's put a question. He said, what do you think our final record would be? I think we finished 6-11. We beat the Vikings and we beat the Giants and win one of the Philly games, he says.
Oh, yeah, thinks we're going to win one of them.
Okay. Yeah, so that's another 3 wins he's got from us for till the end of the season. I'm thinking 2. Giants and the Vikings. I think that's definite. But I think I don't think you're far off, Cam. I think you could definitely sneak a one of them Philly wins in.
Yeah, I mean, I'd just love to. I'd love to, because say it's family business. When you're looking into our division, it's family business, and records go out the window. It really does. You know, we've seen it before. You know, the Giants beat Philly. You know what I mean? Like these things happen when it comes to family business. Well, did they? No, they didn't. Did they lost? Did they lose last second, or did they beat? No, the Giants did beat.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They lost to. I'm pretty certain they lost to Philly.
I must double check.
No, might have done. The Giants beat somebody. What was that? Dart and
yeah,
Dart. It was Dart and freaking what's his name? Scatterboo. I'd have to look. I'll have to.
Might be wrong.
So they lost 40-37 to the Cowboys. I'm trying to look in the Eagles. No, they did. 34-17. 34-17. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
They give them a whooping. You know, these things happen against good teams. So why can't we do that? And we could go into, you know, take on the Eagles and you know, give them a kick up the arse and then it's great, because then say we're messing them up, we're causing them grief, and that's what I want to see. I want to see us causing grief to our inner opponents in our division. You know, that's why I'd love to beat Dallas on Christmas Day. You know, I'd love to beat those guys. Okay, you know, you're thinking, oh, well, every time you win one, you're going to move up, move down the draft order.
The draft order. Don't care about that.
I don't care. Yeah, man. I mean, I'd rather win and be respectable rather than being abused and getting hammered by everybody. Actually, I'd rather see 6 more games what we just had against Denver. You see what I mean? Like, I want to see stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I do not disagree with you.
Oh, no, close thing. I want competitive games. I want to see if we can actually win these games, these close ones. Can we get back to that? Like last year, you mentioned, we did it quite a lot last year. I want to see stuff like that happen. I want to see the positives again coming from there, more than just, oh yeah, you know, not another 40 burger against us. You know what I mean? Like, it's just get in there.
So Scott G's just joined us, being the troll that he is. He said just wrapping up work, he wanted to come in and turn in his fan card to Scouse. Yeah, never been to a home game, this lad. Mate, there's a free ticket for you if you want one. You know what I mean? Just get yourself across.
I can't even be arsed going. And he's there with the audacity to rip us. I mean, come on, boy. Come on, boy. You've been to a home game and you're there giving me grief.
Even John Taman's been to a home game and he's a hermit.
Yeah, so, he never leaves his house. And he's still fucking been there more times than you are.
Even Yam's been there, man. And he's been in Japan for like fucking most of his life watching anime. You know?
I go to the away games, because no one knows him. That's what it is.
I know. Scott, we're winding you up, son. You're all right. Are you at the game this weekend? No. Blackpool versus Carlisle. Yes, I am. Yeah, no. I've been to how many games have you been to this season? Oh, 2. That's right. Yeah. Not too bad for someone.
We live about what? 5,000 miles away.
4,862 miles to be precise, Scouse, but there you go. It is what it is.
We're no box and we're nobody. Come on, bro. At least we show up to the game.
Yam has put a question into his Speak of the Devil. He says, What do we have to be optimistic about for the rest of the season and heading into next year, especially with two of our biggest rivals having success and the Eagles likely to repeat as NFC East champions?
I think we would have been. I think it's the same kind of thing. It's just kind of. I want to be, as John mentioned, I want to be playing party pooper type thing. I want us to go in there and start ripping these teams up and just cause them grief because we can't make the playoffs. But let's go out there and make them feel our pain. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing Jaden with an actual full set of receivers, his first choice receivers. I want to see that. I want to see what magic they can conjure up.
Agreed. Yeah, I want to see the development.
Defense is solid at the moment with DQ's play calling. It would have been a hell of a lot better if we kept all our main players fit, but we can't help that.
Yeah,
but it's better now that Joe Witt's gone. So I think we're going to be competitive every game. I think we're not going to win every game, but we're going to be competitive. I think in most games now. I don't
disagree with you at all. And actually, shout out to Scott G, who is going this weekend to Minnesota game. Fair play to you, mate. Enjoy it. I know you love an away game, but it's one of them that's close to home for you. So fair play to you. If that is your home game, fair one. Yeah, I saw this from John saying, Scouse, back in the day, you and I would have had some fun. The DC punk scene was amazing.
Yeah, man.
The rock and roll clubs here were awesome. Yeah, that's your cup of tea. That as well. That is right up your street, isn't it?
Like punk scene, kind of, heavy rock type things. Definitely, yeah. That's just my thing. So yeah,
it's saying here you'd freeze get into the game since you complained about Green Bay.
Do you mean I was wearing shorts, mate? I was wearing shorts in Green Bay. It was snowing.
The thing you don't know about Scouse, if anyone who doesn't know, is Scouse does not wear anything but shorts. Jesse can back this up. It's outside here. It's -2 degrees Celsius, and Scouse is outside in shorts, walking around central London.
And t-shirts.
You were actually, to be fair. Yeah, you do that. You do that.
That's what I do. That's what I do, though. That's what I do. It's like, as long as I've got gloves on, I'm all right. If my hands get cold, that's a problem. But my legs.
Yeah. That's a strange one.
Yeah.
What other questions have we got? That's pretty much our last question, I think, mate, to be fair. Scott G obviously was bantering with us, saying that, fans have had their fan cards revoked by Scouse and that he's unsubscribed and, he's decided to pin his...
You're not lying with that. He probably has unsubscribed.
He probably has. But yeah, while we're here, though, and we're talking about subscribers... Do us a favour, please. If you are watching this and enjoying it, if you know anyone who else is a Commanders fan or wants to talk NFL, whatever, the dog wants to subscribe, make them an account. And, your Nana Jane, she wants to have an account, give her an account, put them on. But, no, in all seriousness, please subscribe, do all the good things. We do it for you, as John says. So, yeah, go out and do all that for us. We're one subscriber away from 200. So, if we can get there, that'd be great. It's just me and you, mate. We do it every week just for a bit of a laugh and giggle. Rod, you saying here, big off season coming up, no repeat of contract fiasco or a more effective pre-season. I agree with you, Rod. I have got your question here actually, so I did forget about that. He has got a question. He sends me on Messenger. That's why I had to go to a different place. He said, "Hi mate, what a game on Sunday. Really proud of them. 2 games now where we can say they've been good in both games on both sides of the ball. We're 3 plays away and from a passing OT on Sunday. The fumble against Miami, and we should have beaten the Bears. With all the injuries we have, we could have been looking at playoffs." He said Ayuk and he said we need to sign Larry Tunsil, Debo, Mariota, restructure Daron Payne, Burks and Ertz, etc. Maybe Eckler, and of course Ayuk. And I think Bobby will leave, but please no repeat of this contract negotiation fiasco. But things look good for next season. I think you can win this weekend. I don't know if any of this is on discussion for tonight, but he said, "Can we talk about about it going into next season?"
Yeah, the biggest thing for us, we've got to get Tunsil signed up. I think that's
There
the
you go.
biggest. Hey, Nana Jane. I mean, of course, man. Who else? There's loads of people who fancy this.
John, her eyes aren't painted on sun, are they? You know what I mean? She isn't made of wood, Scouse, is she? Oh, dear. But yeah, back to Rod.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, we definitely got to get Tunsil signed up. And
Tunsil
I'm not
signed
talking
up.
about, and don't mess around. Like as you mentioned, no contract problems,
No,
no
you don't want
disputes,
that.
no fucking lingering on into the season, no Terry-like stuff. Just get it done. Whatever
Because
costs. It
I
might
think
cost 28,
he
30
could.
mil. It might cost that much money.
I think he could be more of a pain in the arse than Terry Tunsil, and he's been known for it before as well.
Yeah,
You know, you've got other contracts out there as well. You've got like Deron Payne's got no guaranteed money. That's why I can't see him sticking around.
That's the point. I don't think we can keep everybody. You know,
Tunsil does represent himself. You're right, John. That's absolutely right. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Why do you want to give his agent 10% when he can keep it all himself?
or however much they charge. You know, it might be more.
Agent's about 10%.
Yeah.
So why would you? You know, if he's happy to speak to AP and say, "Give me the cash, lad," you know what I mean? Like that's it.
I think if it's an averaged out, what's left tackle money? 30 it is about 30 mil in it generally.
Yeah, I think the highest paid at the moment. I think it's Slater about 28. I think.
Is Penny Sewell quite up there as well? I think.
Not left tackle, though, is he? Sewell's a right tackle.
Is he right tackle? Penny Sewell. I thought he was left.
No. But he's Yeah, I don't know, John. He hasn't never had an agent. He's negotiated his own contract in Houston. Maybe he's got a law degree. Maybe he's just too busy sniffing up that gas mask. Remember that on
draft day?
Someone tried to fuck him up big time there, didn't they? I mean, that was hilarious, to be fair. He dropped down a bit for that, He dropped down a lot.
He did enough drop down
on that.
Millions,
that did.
I don't think it necessarily cost... It did cost him millions, but maybe he just looked at it and went, nah, I ain't playing for the fucking Browns. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, potentially. I mean, because, where did he get drafted to? He went to Miami, didn't he? Was he Miami?
He went to Miami, yeah. He went to Miami,
yeah. But they were kind of like, where? Mid? Were they mid at that point?
Yeah, so looking at this now, I'm looking at the top left tackle money. Rashawn Slater's average is the highest. He's the newest one. He's 28.5 mil. Total value is 114. Then it's Trent Williams, 27.5.
Still a beast. 37 years old. Still a beast.
Christian Darasaur's next off the rank, 26 mil, 104. Then the fourth highest paid tackle on the board, 25 million, Larry Tunsil.
Yeah, so he's obviously going to reset the market again, isn't it? So we know he's going to be going for that 29. He's probably going to want 30 because he'll be the first 30 million pound guy, and that's what he'll want. You can see he'll want that, and he's played well. So it's not like you can't say he's not deserved it.
I don't think he gets to 30. Maybe he gets the same sort of money as Trent, maybe 27. But
for him, $2 million a year increase is not enough. I just think that won't be enough. I think that'll be like, well,
it depends on the guaranteed money, doesn't it? That's the problem. It's how much are you going to guarantee me? How much are you going to give me in signing bonus? That's what people are interested in. Mm-hmm. But yeah, John's right. He said if you want to protect Jaden, you pay him. Absolutely right.
Yeah, it's a prime position. They're hard to get. We've been lucky, over the years that we've had good left tackles. Chris Samuels. After that, we had Trent Williams. We've had some great left tackles. Jacoby, if you want to go back even longer, you know what I mean? Like, some great guys, great left tackles. So it's kind of as I say, you got to protect the merchandise. What's the merchandise? Jesus, the merchandise.
What about this from Deluxe? He says, "What if Washington goes 5-1 in division and misses the playoffs?" Don't.
You would feel sick, but then you think though, but then you'd be buoyed for next year though, because you think.
Yeah,
we've got the number of our teams in our divisions. We've got their number, so
yeah, you would.
You like to think we can do really well next season if that happened. We'd be upset we missed on playoffs, but it'd be nice. I'd take it.
I would too. Well, just before we go, prediction for this weekend then for Sunday. What are you saying, Scouse? Put you on the spot here.
I think you win. I do think you win. Like anything, no, we're not going to blow teams out.
No, it's going to be close. It's going to be close, but it's going to be a win. I think.
I think we win 27-24.
Ooh, I was going the other way. I was going 20. I was going 27-20. So a touchdown win is where I'm going.
Yeah, I mean, if McCarthy's back, I think that they will get points on the board.
I do too.
If it's still Bosmer, it'd be like 7.
Could be 40. Could be 40. Could be 40 points. Do you know what I mean? That we put up against them.
If Bosmer plays, then it's going to be like 27-0 or 27-7. That's what it's going to be. But if McCarthy plays, I think they will get points on the board.
Yeah, agreed. All right, everyone, thank you for being with us. Thank you for being in the chat. Thank you for coming on board and watching us live. We appreciate it. Don't forget to do all the good stuff, like, subscribe, and do all that sort of stuff. We'll be back the same time next week, 9 o'clock our time, 4 p.m. Eastern, next Thursday. Thank you, Scouse, for being with me. I appreciate you. And we'll see you all again next week.
Bye.